cash in. Indy's going to cash in.
Indy's going to Los Angeles.
What up, y'all? This your boy Ace here, and welcome to Afternoons Delight. So, we have one more spot that needed to be filled for the women's Stand and Deliver ladder match. It's going to be a 6-way match, as I talked about in the last video. Roxanne Perez has been cleared to wrestle. It was a work, guys. It was definitely a work, her fainting and all that stuff. So she was talking about anxiety issues that she had that kind of led up to her passing out. But the doctors cleared her and they said everything was okay. Shawn Michaels was a little bit hesitant about letting her go in there. He's very worried about her health situation. But he told her, hey, the doctors can keep him informed. Leading up to the match, he allowed her to be in there. So Roxanne has got the 5th spot, and the 6th spot need to be taken out. Before we go into who won the match or whatever and how it went towards the end, my feelings on this is that ladder matches definitely are a good match to have like 6 to 8 people in them. So I think they got the right amount of women in them. But I do wish they had a 3rd women's match since they were using all these girls. I wish that they had a 3rd women's match that wasn't for any titles or nothing. And they were able to showcase maybe at least 2 other women wrestlers in a one-on-one match somewhere. Because there's no one-on-one women's matches on this card, man. It's all multiple women because they got the tag team titles as well, which is 4 women. So, I wish we would have had like at least one match that was one-on-one. You know what I mean? I think it would have been a good showcase, but I know they don't have that much time to showcase that type of opportunity, but I do wish they would have been able to do that, though. But let's get into this, man. We had a triple threat match, and it was basically all of the girls who ended up losing their qualifying matches, like Indi Hartwell, Ivy Nile, and Sol Ruca. Sol Ruca lost to Zoe Stark. Indi Hartwell just last week lost to Tiffany Stratton, and Ivy Nile lost to Lyra Valkyria, I believe. So, the only one was Gigi Dolan's opponent, who was Kiana James, was the only one because she's in the tag team match. That's probably why she didn't get a chance to get a chance to fight again. But this is a last chance match, and I like that. I like that title, last chance match for the final spot. So I believe Indi Hartwell was the favorite coming in, and let's see if she won the match. So Indi Hartwell hit Ivy Nile, and one of the things that I noticed in this match, Indi Hartwell was way more focused in on taking out Ivy Nile. For whatever reason, that ended up being a good strategy for her, though. But Sol Ruca, man, she's exciting, bro. Like, when she gets to the main, she's one of the few women on the main roster where you can really get into her stuff. Like, I noticed that the crowd was really into the Becky Lynch Io Sky match on Raw. I didn't get a chance to talk about it because I didn't have time to put up the Raw clips yesterday. So I just had to skip Raw yesterday, unfortunately. But I saw how well that worked. And that was something that definitely, like, really caught my eye, though. Like, I was like, man, this is pretty good. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, Hartwell hit an impressive slingshot splash for a 2 count after Nile broke it up. Nile hit Ruca with an enzuigiri for a 2 count. Ruca blocked a huracanrana and hit Nile with a superkick. Ruca hit Nile with a flip into a stinger splash. Hartwell hit Ruca with a spinebuster for a 2 count. Nile did a Rana into a dragon sleeper. Ruca hit Nile with a Sol Snatcher out of nowhere. Hartwell dumped Ruca to ringside. Hartwell hit Nile with a basement forearm for the victory. And that was all she wrote, unfortunately, for Sol Ruca and mostly Ivy Nile in this match. So this match went a little bit over 4 minutes. And we will now have Zoe Stark, Lyra Valkyria, Gigi Dolan, Tiffany Stratton, and Roxanne Perez. And they all actually made their entrances from the crowd. Zoe Stark was in the crowd. Lyra Valkyria was in the crowd. Gigi Dolan was in the crowd. Tiffany Stratton was in the entranceway. And on the crow's nest, it was Roxanne Perez holding up the title to everybody to let them know the champ is here. And she's going to defend her title in person physically. And it won't be vacated. So Awesome segment though. You know, so I like that. They did that early in the year too. They did that early in the year before the Women's Battle Royal back in January, New Year's Evil. I like that setup when they do that spotlight like that. I like that stuff, man. But this is gonna be an interesting ladder match. I'm actually probably gonna do a preview in the next video. Give my thoughts on it. I did want to talk about Ivy Now real quick. There was I was very surprised in these last two matches they didn't have Tatum Paxley actually cost Ivy Now in any sort of way, which is interesting. So I'm wondering when she's going to make her first move as a heel. Maybe they're just going to wait until Stand and Deliver to kind of showcase her as a heel. So maybe that's where they're going with it. But Sol Ruca, man, very impressive in that ring, bro. She is entertaining. She is entertaining with all the flips she does and all that stuff. That's the stuff that gets the crowd going. And I know people, they hate the gymnastic stuff. There's a sector of wrestling fans, they hate that stuff. But those fans do not understand how much that gets especially casuals in the crowd. Because a majority of people, even though people watch wrestling, they don't like boring stiff holes and rest holes and all this other. They don't like that aspect of wrestling. They get bored by it. This is the type of stuff where you see people doing flips and stuff. That's the stuff that gets people out of their chairs, bro. You know, and I think those fans, they need to start viewing that a little different, even if they don't like it. You know what I mean? Because that stuff really gets people hyped, man. It really does. And in the women's division, you really don't have a lot of wrestlers like that. So, and sometimes I feel like with the women, they need something that's athletically showcased like that in their matches. And Sol Ruca's going to be one of those women that when she's featured like that, she's going to be really good. So I'm liking it, man. But we're going to do, so Indi Hartwell wins. Good win for her. I never did get a chance to talk about her scene last week with Zoe Stark because I didn't do NXT last week. That was interesting last week when she had a little temper tantrum backstage and then Zoe Stark walked by her and she said, I know I'm not talking to the NXT Women's Champion or whatever like that. So, because she was teasing her backstage. Which is why I do want to talk about what's going to happen with girls like Indi Hartwell if they're still going to turn heel after Stand and Deliver. So, and Indi Hartwell, very interested in this match, guys, was kind of healing it up a little bit. I noticed, especially in the beginning of the match, she looked at the two girls with a heel look. She was super cocky and confident. It was interesting. It was interesting, man. But I think she might be a future member of Damage Control. We got to be on the lookout for that. She's going to lose on Saturday, but I got Roxanne Perez winning. But I'm gonna do that preview video next. So let's get to it, y'all. Going ahead and get this video a like, share, subscribe. Any comments y'all got, definitely put them down. Thank y'all for watching. After News to Light.